guys, when it comes to scalping, the tips are very important. The tip, you know, the tip is very important when it comes to scalping. Okay, let me stop whining. What am I referring to? Obviously, if you come to this is H1. Let's just go to, yes, H1 is the finest one. If you look at this, this is the tip. If you look at this is another tip. Okay, so it's giving you a specific price of some sort, that at 31131.59 there was a tip which was some sort of spike. Okay, so price attempted to break out of that level, but it didn't. So we know that this is a very specific tip. Okay, so you can see the very same tip that I've marked here. It played out there, it played out here, played out there. It's the tip. Now that I've identified those tips, I come down to lower time frames, right? Immediately when price reaches this tip, there's gonna be something. So if you're a scalper, you would know that at that tip, I'll be looking to buy, or be looking to do whatever that you do. In this case, because that's on support, you'd be looking to buy this tip. Okay, but this tip right here have been tested for quite a number of times. So you look for the nearest tip, because you can see this one was touched recently, or there was an attempt to touch this one, but this one, there's still some sort of room around it. Okay, and it haven't been touched as much as the upper one. Okay, because the more a zone is tested, the higher the chances of it getting broken. That is a rule. Okay, that is something that you should have in your tool. But if you look quite nicely on this one, it haven't been touched as much as that. So we know that this tip down here, it's actually going to give us some sort of a scalp trade. Keep in mind I'm on 15 minutes. So if you go to 5 minutes, it's gonna be looking now. So you could be looking at your M's or W's. Watch the video about the M's and W's that I posted previously. Then you'll have an understanding. So these tips that I've shared, or the tips that I'm not sure how important the tips is, or the tip is, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure, but in this manner, the tip, in this sort of a trick, the tip is very important, especially when you want to scalp. Okay, you want to identify tips on higher time frames, because if you come back again to 5 minutes, okay, you can see how the tip is going to give you a sort of a setup down. So immediately when it starts playing around there, that's when I'm gonna start looking for opportunities to go up. But did you see how I got everything? I came to H1, identified the tips on H1. Can go to H4, it doesn't matter, depending on what you're comfortable with. Okay. But identified these tips. You use lines, you don't have to use any, you can use a line like this. Try to align the tips as perfect as possible. Okay, you can see this right there. Let me just get my spotlight. You can see here, you can see there, can see there, can see there. Look at how they played out nicely, even in the future. So it's the same as if I try to move it to here. Look at that, tip, 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 tip. So if price pushes up there, there's gonna be something, even if it attempts to clear a little bit higher. But if you're on 5 minutes, obviously you'll be able to get away with that. That's how you can scalp VIX. That's how we can actually scalp without any indicator, without anything. Should you have any question, please feel free to text me. There's a link in the description box below. I was talking about the tips. Hi, my name is Vindi. Shap shap.